Are you spinning your wheels to grow your real estate business? On this episode, we talk to Terry Thayer about the system he has in place to hire the right people by automating the hiring process and always maintaining his core values within his team. This insight has allowed him to grow his business in the wholesale, rehab, and new construction areas of real estate. Currently, he is residing in Mexico with his wife and children while running his team back in the United States. He believes you should always build your business to fit into your lifestyle and not the other way around.
Hello, Terry. Welcome to the show. Let's get rolling by giving us a brief background about your investing experience and what businesses you are in today.
Hey man, thanks for having me. My name is Terry Thayer. I'm out of the Raleigh, North Carolina market. Well, I say that I'm in that market, but that's where my home base is. That's where our office is. We run virtually throughout the entire state of North Carolina, get ready to tap into the state of Tennessee, but we will only be in the Raleigh market or Raleigh office. We will just have that one office there. But been in real estate now since 2002. Started off with buying properties to expand the value of it for rental properties, making 4-bedroom, 4-bath properties in areas in the university areas and renting out bedrooms for high dollars, and just kind of morphed into flipping houses and then development. I became a general contractor a year later in 2003, and been developing properties for all these years, flipping, wholesaling, buying rental properties, coaching systems, all that stuff for all these years.
So you're almost coming on a 20-year anniversary. Is that correct? It makes you feel a little old or what?
Yeah. Almost a 20-year anniversary in that world. I grew up as a carpenter, been in housing industry my entire life. That's the only industry I know about. It's coming up on 20 years on the investing, flipping, developing side personally.
Cool. And now throughout those years, have you only participated in the Raleigh market?
Yes, everything has been in the Raleigh market the entire time. Raleigh, Durham, surrounding areas. Just recently, I want to say it was either I think it was the end of last year. The end of last year, we just expanded the entire state of North Carolina with the wholesaling business. So we do it all virtually. So we don't have to go to all these different places. We have teams of people that do different things for us, pictures, measures, inspections, all that stuff in different places so that we can do everything virtually right here, right in Raleigh.
Now I know Raleigh and Charlotte keep making, top 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 of every list, whether it's tech, it's jobs, net migration. What is your opinion on the state and the, Raleigh market itself?
So I've been there for 25 years, going on 26 years. And you're right. I mean, literally since the day I rolled into town, I can remember on the belt line, there was this big old sign that said, voted top #1 place to live or fastest growing city in the nation, whatever it was. I remember it was sitting over there, and every year in the publications, it's like, I say top 5. It seems like, yes, it might drop out here and there and really be with that in that top 10. But yeah, it's always been a super hot market. And I can remember from where I moved from upstate New York, and upstate New York just being dead as far as building and growth and all that. And then moving to North Carolina and just being like, holy crap. Like every angle, everywhere you turn, there's some type of development. Every downtown that you go into, Raleigh, Durham, Charlotte, it doesn't matter, Winston-Salem, all you're seeing is cranes all times, all 25 years I've been there. It's just constant growth and development. It's awesome that North Carolina has the Research Triangle Park. We've got a bunch of hospitals, universities. So, I mean, it's somewhat recession-proof at the same time. When 2008 came around, yeah, we felt the recession in comparison to what we were normally used to. But anybody else in the country come in and be like, you guys crazy? You guys are hopping. Like everything's going, right? It was just a change for us, right?
And so what other factors do you think contribute to the migration and the jobs and the universities and everything within the Raleigh, Charlotte markets?
What type of migration, like what do you think brings everybody in?
Yeah, what is it about, that's so appealing to the state of North Carolina for residents and investors? I mean, the market's been very strong here.
I mean, it's a fairly affordable place to live. You've got the mountains, you've got the ocean, like it's all right there. You've got the universities, I believe, are the biggest cause. Like we've got what, NC State, UNC and Duke within a 30-mile radius, right? So you have three major universities, and those are the three major. Think of all the other universities and schools that are in that small area. Then you scan out to Wake Forest, that's in Winston-Salem, and some of these other schools that are throughout the state. People come into these schools from other states, and a lot of times they graduate and they don't leave. And so it creates growth and expansion of population. And then, of course, these people come in, they're in these universities, they'll come out, they start their own businesses, so there's other growth. And between that and then the Research Triangle Park and the hospitals where people are coming, I've met many people that moved to the area specifically because of some type of health reason and to have better hospitals. So I think all these different things are just a perfect recipe for growth.
Those are some good thoughts I didn't think of before. And so, in the investment community, what I hear a lot is there's no deals, right? Or it's really tight in North Carolina. So that leads us into your wholesaling business, right? And kind of you built your expertise around that direct marketing and building a team out there to get those deals directly from sellers, correct? Can you kind of give us some background about that?
Yeah, 100%. I hear it all the time. It drives me crazy. I'm so sick of people saying, oh, there's no deals. They're tight. They're this, they're that. You know what? It has nothing to do with the state, because people are winning in every state, in every city. It has to do with your systems, has to do with your marketing, has to do with your people, has to do with your sales process, has to do with all that stuff. And if you have all those things solid, you're going to crush it in any market, guaranteed. I don't really care. I'll go into any market and I'll do my thing. It doesn't matter. And I'll do it right from Raleigh, my Raleigh office. I'll train people. I mean, our system is so rock solid. I mean, the majority of people that work for us are 21, 22, 23 years old. I'm bringing them in, no experience. The only thing they know about a house is it has a door, it has a kitchen, it has a bathroom, right? And we're teaching them within a couple weeks how to buy 100, 200,000 plus dollar properties over the phone. We're teaching them how to evaluate these comps. And our average deal right now, our average close for the year right now, just creeped over 20,000. We dropped just under 20,000 on an assignment fee. We're just over 20,000. We have, I know that the bell rang yesterday. We got one that just got in contract within 2 weeks. We're closing on the property with a $40,000 assignment fee. I mean, literally, we're selling paper for $40,000. So you tell me deals are tight. We've got another one that they just got like a week and a half ago, was like 45,000, I believe. We're working on a package deal that if we can get everybody lined up, like we already have the buyer, a package deal, we could pull $210,000 out of this package. So it's like, it's all BS. It's all because things are not in the right place is why deals are tight. It's not that the deals are tight, you're just missing something.
So what in the wholesaling business, or maybe some techniques or tricks or however you want to look at it, makes you successful where a lot of people are not? Or how can you help others gain insight into what makes you successful there?
Yeah, I mean, to be able to do it in a few minutes is going to be difficult. But I mean, just the kind of bullet point, number one, our biggest success started with having the right marketing channels, right? So it's like, what works, what doesn't work. And this is the thing that is going to be completely different in every market that you have to figure out. Like PPC may be hot in one market and not another market. Other people are doing ringless voicemail and text blasts in other markets. And in our market, it really hasn't done anything great, right? So it's like, you have to know, and the good thing about, for me, that allows me to help so many people throughout the country is that I have a pulse on so many different parts of the country because of my network, right? So I can reach out, hey, how's things going in this market? What's your hottest marketing channels? I don't need to know who you're using, but what's working best? Is it cold callers? Is it text blasts? Is it, you know what I mean? Like, give me some idea. Then I can go through and I can use my resources to push in that area. Another big thing, I think, and this still goes back with marketing, right? People are always trying to save money. You get what you pay for, right? So it's like, I want to invest my money to get a return. I'm not trying to penny pinch to get seeds and dust and dirt, you know what I mean? Picking up scraps. Like I did in the beginning. Oh yeah, I've got this great resource. Look, it can save you this, that, and the other thing. And at the end of the day, it doesn't give me the same return. So the biggest thing I see people do is they buy cheap data. They will get their data scrubbed to phone numbers, and they're using cheap data there, right? So they're buying lists. Who knows where they're getting it from? And it may be lists that are just resold over and over and over and over and over. And then they're going and getting a skip trace. Like, oh, I can get a skip trace for 3 cents or 5 cents or whatever the case is. I can guarantee you that it's not good data, and you're going to get old phone numbers, crap phone numbers that are not going to be, that they're not going to land, right? So for us, we will pay extra to make sure that we're getting credit data, right? So credit data is solid. If you get, and what that means is like people are constantly getting their credit pulled, right? So TransUnion credit data, it's always given the most accurate, most up-to-date information when you're buying data that has its credit data, right? You're buying just data, old data. It could be a phone number from 1982 that they had in their house with their little ring dialer, right? It was so that's the biggest difference I see. Is it starts with marketing and then it just flows through with the training processes, the systems, it's the CRM. I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
So what's been your favorite marketing technique lately? Just one that sticks out that's been your most successful.
They're two. They're neck to neck. We were actually just reviewing the numbers on it yesterday. PPC and cold calling. Those are by far our two best sources, and people don't see it like this, but I love PPC the best. Like if I can flood more PPC, I would, but it's like, it's kind of tricky how you have to do PPC. It's not like you buy more names and you get more lists out, and it's not like you just spend more money and more, you get more deals, right? So it's tricky how that whole thing works. But at the end of the day, our cost per conversion on PPC is much less than any other thing. It's more upfront, but less per conversion.
That's good. And so I know you guys have Thayer Homes that does custom home building, correct?
Correct.
And you guys, are you utilizing your wholesale arm to source deals for that? Or how are you acquiring deals for that Thayer Homes?
So funny you asked that question. So let's see, I'm trying to think of years now. So I believe it was 2018, around May of 18, we decided to do a shift. At that particular point, we did an audit on our company. We owned 88 lots in downtown Raleigh and downtown Durham, like scattered all over the place. And I'm talking these, every single one of them are tear down new builds. Occasionally you get one that you split into two and you've got an empty lot, or occasionally you actually buy an empty lot in these downtown areas, something that was maybe already torn down years ago, and you have this property, right? And what was happening is there was so much growth in these downtown. That's where I concentrate, from 02 to 18. Like downtown, inside the Beltline, downtown Raleigh, downtown Durham. That's been my playground for that many years, right? And it still is. We're still wrapping up some. And we decided at that particular point, we're like, seeing all the growth that's going on, and what was happening is these municipalities didn't know how to deal with it. So we're building in neighborhoods that are 100 years old, right? So we're doing all this development, and then they didn't know how to deal with it. There was so much happening that they made a quick shift, and they started treating these old neighborhoods like it's a new development. So we're having to spend $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 extra per lot, which was cutting into our profits, cutting into our time, everything. So it wasn't, nothing was black and white. It wasn't like there was a UDO, there was any kind of script, anything. It was literally, it would be this way on this house and this way on this house. And it was, honestly, it was getting to the point where it was so unpredictable that we had to throw our hands up and be like, you know what, we're done. We're going to sell out. We've sold some lots. We're selling some more lots. We're building out some of the rest of them, and we're done. But to answer your question, up until that point, we were marketing in these areas to buy our own properties, right? And we would probably wholesale 8, 10, 12, 15 properties a year. And the only reason why is because marketing in a small area. Well, maybe this person has this one house over here in this little circle that we're buying in, but then they have two over here that they want to sell that are outside of our area. We would wholesale off these two, keep this one. Well, when we decided to make that shift that we're not going to develop in these downtown areas, and now we're going to start buying in developments, buying smaller developments, just buying finished lots in new neighborhoods. We've been doing that since roughly end of 18 on. We've only been doing that, finishing off the rest of them. When we did that, we were trying to see, what do we want to do with this marketing and acquisition side of things? So we decided to really scale a wholesaling business. So in February of 19, we took that business and broke it off as its own company and really started scaling it hard. And we've taken it from, buying some properties for ourselves, assigning a handful of contracts every single year to we keep about 30 deals on the board at all times. We're picking off a couple of them to rehab and flip, and the rest of them we're assigning them. We're not doing any of them, not keeping any of them for our new builds. So I know that was a long answer, but it was kind of a story to bring it to that.
No, that was good. And so what would be the takeaway or the shortest answer from that is, are you saying that finding those lots that already had the entitlements, sewer, water, all there in the infrastructure just ends up being more profitable or less headache acquisition than the other way?
It's more predictable.
Got it.
Right? So here's the thing. Do you want to be a land developer? Or do you want to be a builder? I've learned that there are two different divisions, and you can be both. And I know a lot of people, I have a lot of friends that do both, right? But it's two different companies. It's two different, you can't have your project manager that's building your house also be the project manager on the land, unless you find a unicorn, of course. But it's not very efficient way of doing things. So it ended up taking a lot of my personal time, and I was spending too much time on the development end, and it really wasn't the highest best use of my time. It wasn't like we were making massive extra profits off of that type of role. So that's when I decided to pull the plug on it. And so when we go into development, all the streets are there, all the plumbing's there, power, everything. All we're doing is just, we buy the lot, we pull our permits, we dig footers, we pull houses out of the ground. We connect to everything that's already there, we're done. There's no, do we need to change out all this curb and gutter? Do we need to change out the sidewalk? Do we need to add the sidewalk? There's none of that, right? It's just plug and play.
Good. I might need you to build me a house, find me a nice parcel here in the area. So, I guess we went over the wholesaling, the custom home building, and what I heard is that you might also be doing rehabbing or have some rentals.
Yeah, so that's another shift. The rental properties. The rental properties it's just not for me. I don't like rental properties. I never have. We got up to almost 60 rental properties, and this time last year, roughly. And we decided to start selling off our properties, rehabbing them, flipping them, strategically, not all at one shot. We're down to 19 right now, investing money into other places, starting to. And so that's the rental properties. So we're making that shift right now as we speak. On the flip side, so we have a very strict criteria. There's 5 pieces of criteria. If it doesn't fit in those 5, if one piece of criteria is missing, we don't even consider it. If it hits, it's basically 4 pieces of criteria. The 5th piece of criteria is 2 things. It's a 2-piece. Do we have the debt available to borrow? And do we have the cash flow to be able to take something on for 3 months? Or do we need the cash flow because things aren't closing? Do we need the cash flow to be able to turn this property for marketing, payroll, whatever expenses? So it just all depends on what's going on at that particular point in time.
And so is there any comments on what you're seeing in the debt markets based on the economic situation there, or how you're planning for that?
Repeat that question, because I want to make sure I'm understanding that right.
Well, I'm saying regarding debt, most people are going out there working on acquisitions right now, where they got to raise private capital. I mean, they have 2 options, right? And are you seeing the debt markets, a lot of the companies pulled back, or, where are people going to get their capital, or where are you going?
Yeah, so there's 2 answers to that. Number one, we're trying to reduce the amount of debt that we have. Okay, we're trying to become as cash flush as possible right this minute. We're selling out a bunch of developments and lots that we own on the building side. We're selling out rental properties, putting them into different types of investments. We are right this minute, we were talking earlier, right this minute, I have not had to, other than flip debt, right? Private money, like we have abundance of private money. We've been raising money for years, so we have an abundance of private money. But it's like, okay, we have cheap private money, we have expensive private money. Do we want to keep this a whole machine going, or do we want to just pick things off and be a little more strategic about it, right? So we're in a position to where we can pick and choose and not just take everything and, just because we need flow, we need business, we need all this going on. The hard money lenders, from what I'm hearing, they're loosening up. They've actually, several of them have reached out to us recently and wanting to have conversations with us because they're ready to start lending again. Personally, we had $1 million line of credit pulled from us the day before closing back in March, prior to in the beginning of COVID. We had a 12 unit, it's a mixture of singles, duplex, and triplex. We were getting ready to refi out, do a cash out refi. A couple days before we were closing, they pulled that and they just said that they're seizing all their lending. So it's been tough the last couple of months. Luckily, we haven't needed that other than those things, but we've quickly adapted and adjusted. So now I'm seeing it loosening up quite a bit. So we're going to attempt a few different banks for cheaper money. But if not, we have the private on the sidelines.
Cool. I don't see too many people running a wholesaling, home building, and rehab business, organized as well as you are, and, now remotely, right? So what are the, how big is the team and how long did it take you to get everything in place?
So one of my specialties is hiring building teams. I have a system around hiring that really automates the entire system. Our team that we have in place right this minute consists of, internally. So we have virtual assistants and then we have internal in our office. So internal in our office today is 9 or 10 people. There's 9 or 10 people in our office right this minute. So that is made up between acquisitions, dispositions, transaction coordinator. We have a staff accountant, CFO, myself, my wife, which we're not currently there. We are now living in Mexico for who knows how long. So we're running our businesses there from here, there every single day. We have people in place that are there and on site every single day, but we're cranking along. I mean, nothing has changed. We haven't skipped a beat. We're closing deals. We're getting deals. Like nothing has changed. All I need is Wi-Fi, a phone, a computer, and nothing changes.
So that's good. So what have you implemented, or what have you put in place to be able to achieve that? I see so many investors struggle to get past the first few hires, and it seems like it's always an evolving door where they come in, they hire a couple people, it doesn't work out, then they go back, and they keep coming back, and then they kind of just give up and say, hey, I'm just going to be the one-man band. So how did you break through that? I mean, help our listeners understand what they need to do in order to achieve better results.
Yeah, I mean, really, honestly, I feel that pain, right? I went through the hire fire game for years, and it's like, when you step back and look at how much money that costs you by hire fire, I mean, people cost you a ton of money when you have to do that, when you have to just constantly rotate throughout people. So it was a pain point for me. And I got to the point where I became obsessed with learning a process, a system, and I just kept hiring all these different coaches someone has to have the answer. They would tell me they have the answer, and then I get involved and I start coaching with them, and there's really nothing there. It's a couple little pieces, but no magic pill. So I took a little bit of their stuff and I just kept digging deep, and I figured out a system that is fairly automated. At some point in time, it's going to be automated because I'm going to be building a software behind it that automates the entire system to where it's basically, you're just looking at your top 3 to 5 people, and that's it. There's a system that flows it through to just get you to that point, and that's it. Like I'm always recruiting for acquisitions people, salespeople, always. It's never turns off. So every single month I have 3 to 5, sometimes 600 applicants in that whole portal, that CRM that flow through that whole CRM. And if I had to read 3, 5, 600, even 100 resumes a month, like what else am I going to do? First off. Second off, the reason why people hire and fire so much is because they hire off of resumes. Oh yeah, I like this person's experience. Oh, it looks like they went to school for 4 years. They must be great. They did this whole, have this whole achievement. It means absolutely nothing. It's a piece of paper. It's crap. And the only time I look at a resume is before I'm walking into an actual in-person interview, just for some conversation starting bullet points. That's it. I think resumes are absolute crap. It's the old way of doing things. And the reason why people hire and fire is because they do not have a system. I've created a system. I've got a course behind it. And it works. It works. Like it's one of the hardest things that I have to actually sell. And I'll tell you why. It's like, there's nothing sexy about it. Like, oh, learn how to hire. Great. Like learn how to do the best accounting ever. Right. Like nothing sexy about either one of those things right there. But it's when people come in, they're just like, man, it's just mind blowing what it's done to their business and how it's allowed them to grow and build and allowed them as the entrepreneur to do the things that they should be doing and not all the rest of the stuff on top of it.
What just came to mind is kind of like when you're looking at all these real estate deals and, people send you pro formas, you never see a bad pro forma, right? It's just like a resume. No one's putting the bad stuff on there, right? They're just putting the grand old, how great everything is with the 3 references that'll back them up and no matter what, right?
Yes, 100%. I never thought of that, but you know what? You're right. No one's ever going to tell you something like this property sucks. Like they always make it look to their advantage.
So what, since we're not looking at the resume so much, right? What are the things about the character of the person, or what are the things that are going to make you that stick out that are going to help you hire them without knowing who they are?
It starts off with a CRM. So I use Indeed, and there's reasons behind that. And I tell that in my course. There's very specific reasons why I use it. Sometimes we add on an additional piece with LinkedIn for recruiting. But not one person, when they click to apply on, let's say, Indeed, it does not take them through Indeed, and I'm not looking at the Indeed portal. It pulls them off into a CRM that I have. It takes them through a test, scores them, and if they fall below where so it's 0 to 100, right, on the score. So it just depends. If I really need somebody, I may drop my requirement, say anybody 60 and above. If I, kind of need them, I'll go to 65. Like right now I'm recruiting, I don't need anybody. But I'll tell you what, if a rock star, blows my mind and comes out, I'm at 70 above right now. So I probably get 1 to 2 qualified applicants a day that fall under that. And then there's a whole nother set where I send them a request for a video, but it's not just a video, because I know a lot of people that do videos, but it's very, very specific, the time and what I'm requesting in this video. And if they don't follow those instructions, I don't want to have anything to do with them. If I can't give them simple 3 bullet point instructions and they can't follow that, what are they going to do when they come to work for me? Right? So it's like the number one, can you follow instructions? Will you go the extra mile to be a part of this organization, to get this job? Will you take this test? Will you create this video? Will you, you know what I mean? So there's like all those. So right there in this video that is basically a minute long, I can tell you whether I want to spend 1 to 2 hours with you sitting in front of you interviewing you, instead of spending 1 to 2 hours to realize that you're not the right fit, right? And it's just like, so it's all tripwires. It's these different levels of things that you have to go through to be qualified in order to get on. Then I even do a phone interview, right? I do a phone interview at 7. I basically say it's 7 to 15 minutes long. I'm typically done in less than 10 minutes. And I don't let them talk a whole lot. It's basically, I want you to understand this position. I want you to understand this environment, this company, the culture. And I want to tell you what it looks like. I'm going to paint this picture for you. And if this doesn't feel like it's the right fit, let's say so now. Because I don't want to sit in a room with you for an hour, 2 hours for you to say, oh, I didn't realize it was commission only. I don't give commission only. I'm just giving an example. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize it didn't have benefits. Oh, I didn't realize you had to work on Saturdays. Like literally, I've spent 2 hours in a room with someone, and then everything went great, and I extended an offer to them, and they're like, I didn't realize that you guys work Saturday mornings. Whatever the case might be, right? So no, I don't accept. I found another position somewhere else. Like literally, when it gets to the point where I'm extending an offer, right now, since I've done all these things and I've eliminated all the possibilities that could be in place, it's 100% acceptance rate, right? And we're bringing on, like one of my guys posted a story and tagged me to it yesterday. He said, hey, Terry hires the best people. He was just like blowing me up. Right? It was one of my guys, right? Because he's my sales manager. So I bring him these people, and then our training system that we put them through, it's anywhere from 5 to 8 days long. Well, this one particular guy, second day on the phones, locks down a deal that is going to bring us an assignment contract of over $20,000 the second day on the phones.
Good ROI.
Yeah, exactly. This guy hasn't been with us more than like 10, 12 days, right? And it's all about the system. It's all about getting the right people with the right fit that flow into it, and I can just plug them into my system. Culture is a huge thing. Everything's about core values. If you don't fit and follow, we hire and fire on core values. I'll give you an example. I'm not going to name any names, but we had a person a few months back that was a killer salesperson. Absolute shark. And this person, although they were killing it on the phones and they were crushing it, bringing in deals, they had a crappy attitude. They did not fit the core values. It was becoming poison to my entire team. It was bringing them down, and everybody else was having problems like doing anything because they couldn't go to this person about anything. We had to let that person go. I mean, is that something that like most people will be like, no, they're killing it. I need to overlook that. Like, you need to get over this, whatever. Like, they're crushing it. They're bringing in revenue. It's not all about that, because there's no I in team, right? And if one person is bringing down a team, they have to go.
I know all entrepreneurs are looking for the magic sauce and that special software that could kind of perform everything for them. But besides your hiring system, is there any other softwares that you recommend or use or have tried and found ones that fit the best?
You mean for hiring or for in general?
Just for a general, automation of your business and keeping things streamlined.
Yeah, so Podio has been just a total game changer for us. There's so many different systems out there, so many different CRMs, right? And it's like they all do almost what you want them to do, but they're not customizable. Podio, it's like a spreadsheet. Whatever you want it to do, you can make it do, right? It's like if you thought of it and you're like, oh, I wonder if it could do this, you can make it do it. There's some type of plugin, something that can make it do whatever you want it to do. So absolutely love it. So I use one of my businesses, I use Podio. The other one we use Zoho. So it's same thing. It's like very customizable, plug and play, flow through CRM, automation. I mean, just game changer softwares.
Is there any reason why they're separate or not the same Podio across both?
Nope.
Or?
It's just, I think in the real estate industry, wholesaling in general, that's just been the thing. And then, when we plugged into it, that's all we knew. Where I'm using Zoho is in my education business, my retreats, my, all that stuff. And that's what my COO, that's what she knew. She's heard of Podio. And so I was like, look, let me, she showed me a little demo, what it could do. I was like, great. I was like, you know it. you can make this thing hop and do all kinds of other things. Let's go with that because I can learn how to use it.
Yeah, let the people run with what they're great at, right?
Yeah.
So now you have, I mean, shit, man, you got everything kind of automated, running pretty smoothly, and now, you're designing your businesses kind of around your lifestyle. What are you looking to do here?
Yeah. So recently, it was a month. We're like a month and 2 days now into it. I've been living here in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Why Cabo San Lucas, Mexico? Why Mexico? Why not Greece? Why not Italy? Like, okay. So right now we're going through COVID. Number one, I wanted to get out of the US right now. I probably wouldn't have done it right this minute. That accelerated things just because the toxicity of the media and all the crap that's going on. I feel so much more relaxed, less tense. Like there's just, even though people walking around mass here, they're doing things right. There's 0 cases, known cases here in Cabo. You're not turning on the TV and looking everywhere you look, just hearing nothing but just all this garbage. I wanted to remove my family from it. I wanted to remove myself from it. But biggest reason why we made the decision to start doing this, it's something that, first off, our lifestyle is we love to travel. We love to be in different places. I say, look, if anybody can design their life, their business to work anywhere in the world, do it. Because would you rather work in an office every single day in your hometown, or be able to work with a view and accomplish the same thing? Actually, you're going to accomplish more, right? So you're not going to be around all the little things that are happening. You're going to challenge your team to step up and do things versus lean on you like naturally happens. And us naturally as business owners want to solve all their problems, right? So one of the biggest things that I made a decision to want to do this now and Cabo is because we were looking at going to Greece. We were looking at going to Italy. We're looking at going, but I just don't want to go overseas right now. I want to be able to, if something happened, I want to be able to drive across the border, right? if absolutely have to. I want to be within arm's reach. Why Cabo? Why not Cancun? Why not Puerto Vallarta? Like, it's very much like the US here, right? There's Costco here. There's Home Depot, Office Depot. Like, it's, there's things that are different, right? I got to pay with pesos. I don't have to, but I mean, I have to learn all that stuff. There's not like, we're trying to make my wife's or my family's, which my wife's learned how to make this particular sauce. My family's all Italian. On my mother's side, we make this amazing sauce. We can't find Italian sausage anywhere. Right? We can find chorizo everywhere, but not Italian sausage. So there's some things like that. But I really wanted to get away from everything and be able to concentrate on my education side of my business and be able to, without distractions, give 100% of my attention to my mentees and help them level up and get to where they want to go in life and be able to accomplish their goals without making all the mistakes, costly mistakes that I've made over the years. And people are like, they look at the cost of some mentorships. I'm like, look at the cost of the mistakes and the time. Like, that's what I talk about that all the time. Time. Like, there's one thing you can never get more of, and it's time. You can buy anything in the world. You can earn and earn the money to be able to buy anything. If you put your mind to it, you'll do it, right?
Yeah.
You cannot buy time. You can create duplication. You can make it so that you're not wasting time. You can do more in the same time. And I say all the time, like, it's like we all have the same 24 hours. It's what you do with yours that matters.
So how does someone find that right coach or mentor to kind of help them scale their business, to give them more time back?
So the way I tell people to pick a mentor, pick a coach, and everybody should have one. If you don't have one, like, you're failing yourself, right? You're costing yourself money and time. I say find the person that's doing what you want to be doing at the highest level that actually coaches, because not everybody does, right? There's people that are just crushing it in life and business, but they don't want to share, right? Find somebody who's doing everything that you want to be doing, not a guru, but a duru, like someone who's actually doing it, and go mentor with them, go work with them. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I had 2 years ago, I was really wanting to scale my wholesaling business. Like I told you, we were wanting to take it to the next level. And I went to somebody, flew to their office, just checked out their operation. I'm like, this is what I want. Like, I know over the next 2-3 years, I can figure this out, and it can cost me money, time, aggravation, all this other stuff. I said, I can mentor with you. I can get the blueprint. All I need is a month of your time. I need a month of your time. I need a couple different resources. I don't need this long drawn out thing. What is it going to cost me? Throw out a number. I'm like, okay. Like, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. He could have said twice the amount and I would have paid it, because I understand I understand duplication. I understand what it costs. Like, I just turned 45 last week, and time is not not on my side right now. Like, I'm getting older, but at the same time, I'm getting wiser, right? If I had known about mentorship and coaches and all that stuff 20 years ago, I'd be in a whole different place.
That's good. So now that, what are you doing moving forward here with the, current climate? Your business is kind of automated. What are your plans with your time over the next 5 years? What are you looking to do or build?
Yeah. 5 years is always hard to look at, right? I know my current projects right now is to really, like I said, just really help people get to the next level. I want to build this community. I used to one-on-one coach, and I quit one-on-one coaching at the end of last year, phased out throughout this year. And now I'm creating this group environment and mastermind. And I just want to really help people excel and just massively hit their goals in so many different ways, and be able to not just have a high paying job, not just like, one of the things that we talk about is, let me help you get from 6 figures a year to 6 figures a month, right? In your business. That's all good and fine and dandy, but it doesn't stop there. Like, that's where everybody else stops. Like, let me show you how to make money. I want to show you how to automate your business. I want to show you how to scale it, how to automate it, and design it so you can do what you want. Maybe what you want to do is you want to go to an office. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe what you want to do is be in a place like this that overlooks the Pacific and, just have nothing but nature and beauty. Maybe you want to be in the mountains in the middle of nowhere. It doesn't matter. Like, whatever you want to do, I'm going to help you get to that place.
And so what is, you mentioned Mastermind, right? So are you guys doing something there? Is that what Tab is?
Yeah. So it's all under the Tab brand. We have a Tab tribe, and and I want to say this clearly. It's a mastermind mentorship. I'm in multiple, I have mentors, and I'm in multiple masterminds, right? A mastermind, in my opinion, is a group of people that get together. You pay money. There's somebody that hosts it, that is the start of it, and they bring in different speakers. They just put you in front of different things, right? They're like the moderator, right, of a group. A mentorship is somebody that you can go to one-on-one if you need help to help you get to that. But there's also a group setting, right? So you've got the people. It could be a lot of things where I'm not going to claim that I'm the best at every single piece of this business or any business, right? I can help a lot of people do stuff, but if I have this community, this group, and somebody's wanting to be better at some type of digital marketing, we've got a digital marketing like badass in our group. I'm not going to pretend to know about that. I'm going to say, hey, you should talk to this person. And it'll be like one of those communities where everyone's going to want to help people level up.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So our final thought, what has been the one key takeaway in life that has helped you increase your net worth the most through all your investments?
I would say if there's two pieces to that. I mean, it's creating any kind of residual income, right? Being able to, like, I'm into Amazon automation, right? So Amazon automation, I'm getting ready to invest into some storage building facilities. I'm getting ready to put some investment into some apartment syndication, like stuff that is truly passive but gives really good returns. I have people that I mentor and coach that I'll invest in them into certain deals where I'm not doing anything different. I'm mentoring and coaching you, but instead of getting that, just that paid on the money, there's some type of JV agreement on certain deals, and I'm going to help you maximize profits on that type of deal, right? Rental properties has been a play in the past. Now we're shifting to do different things with those dollars, right? it's really honestly is people. It's people, it's systems, it's duplication.
That's good, man. That seems like the key takeaway from today's thing. What I heard a lot has definitely been the right people on your team, right? And the right people in your life. So that's great to hear. If people want to learn more about Tab or get a hold of you personally, what is the best way to reach you?
Yeah, so the best way, I have a website, terrythayerii.com. It's TerryThayerii.com. All my socials, the same thing, Terry Thayer, at Terry Thayer on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, any socials is going to be the exact same thing.
Dude, awesome. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming out and sharing today. I appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for watching my latest interview. If you like what you saw, please click the subscribe button below to become a member of the Joe Robert community. Be sure to hit the bell to turn on all notifications so you always know when I post a new video. Tell me what you thought about the content in the comments below. I always read them and would love to answer any of your questions.